So I've decided that what I'm going to start doing is making sure that I put at least what I've planned on the cheat sheet into the bank account every time. So I'm going to make sure that that's what I put in the bill account every single time, regardless of whether the bills are less than that for the pay period. So this year I put goal amounts on each of the envelopes. So each of the savings categories, I thought about how much I want to save. So I want to finish as many as I can. Hi everybody, thanks for clicking on this video and welcome to my savings budgeting and YouTube journey. Today I am going to be showing you my pre-payday prep. So what I do to prepare for the payday is my payday routine in a way. I just go through, find out how much my paycheck will be coming up, and that I'll find from my employer's website. Then I write out where I want every dollar to go. I always keep in mind my monthly budget and my priorities when I do my budget. So that's what I'm going to show you guys today. So before I get started, there's a few things that I'd like to keep out. We finally get to use my new 2025 budget planner. So we're starting in January. January 13th is my first paycheck of the year, actually. All right, so I'm gonna need my cheat sheet. I'm gonna need my goals, my sinking fund tracker, and my calendar. All right, so let's put these to the side. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is get my planner set up. I'll go through this real quick for you guys. So what I'm gonna do now is just write out where every bill is gonna pop up for the month so that I can better plan what needs to be paid for sure. All right, so I have this set up. It's easy to set up because I have my cheat sheet. If you want to know how to make one of these yourself, I will pin that video so you can take a look to see how I did that. This is all for the whole month of January. And then for the first, we have mortgage. The second, we have car insurance, internet on the third. And on the fourth, we pay Instant Ink. This day, we'll get a new paycheck. So that's why I only stopped here. February will start on February 10th. Because it's the end of the pay period for the second paycheck of January. All right, so now I can go ahead and do my budget. I can see what's due when. I did update my January monthly budget. We have my goals here. I did add a couple goals because we're going to be doing a low spend instead. Those are the goals for the month. I need to set goals for this pay period. And I do have a sheet for that. This is January A, which I said is going to run me from the 13th through the 26th. So some goals that I have for this pay period is to get halfway through the 7 Habits book. All right. Keep up with my school emails. Yeah, my employer will pay for 1 class. I'm just going to take 2. So I want to make sure that all that paperwork was done for that, to make sure that's done. We're starting the era. Start the era. All right, so this is my 12-week year. Payday will be the first day of the 12-week year. So I got to get on all those goals. And the month of January, we're going to journal every day. And low spend, of course. So I don't think I have anything coming up between next week. I believe so. Let's see. Now, I think that'll affect my budget in the next 2 weeks. Right, so we don't have any upcoming expenses. That's a first. Updates, we increased the phone bill. That's about it. And we have an updated cheat sheet. I don't think I have anything specific that I need to do. We need to, I finally bought blinds to replace the bottom level of my house because I can't ruin them. So we need to put up those new blinds. That's about it as far as projects that I need to do for the next 2 weeks. Okay, now we can finally get to the budget. Those things are important because it will affect the budget that I do. So I like to do that first. All right, so I found out from my employer's website that my paycheck will be $1,817. So we thought it was going to be $1,700. That's what I put, not we. That's what I put on my monthly budget. Here it is. I made a bunch of updates to the January monthly budget prior to finding out how much this paycheck was. All right, so we thought it was going to be $1,700 and it ended up being $1,817. So we have about $117 extra dollars there. The first thing that comes out every single time that I get paid is my autosave accounts. So that's for vacation and my car note. So that we're going to take out $225. And I'm a zero-based budgeter, so I'm going to show you every dollar where I plan for all of it to go, including my savings, expenses, and spending. All right, $225, and that's gonna go, 25 is gonna go to the car note savings. And yes, I did have to increase vacation to $200 every pay period. I know that's a super lot, but that's because I found out that our deposit, our final payment is due by June and not by October, I thought. So I thought I had more time and I don't. It happens that way sometimes. It's okay. But if I can do that every pay period, I will have enough to finish vacation in time. All right, $1,592 that leaves us with. All right, and the next thing that comes out is our fixed expenses. Always, these are always done for me in order of importance. All right, so I know from my cheat sheet that the fixed expenses are $705 every pay period. So I've decided that what I'm going to start doing is making sure that I put at least what I've planned on the cheat sheet into the bank account every time. So I'm going to make sure that that's what I put in the bill account every single time, regardless of whether the bills are less than that for the pay period. So for the 2 weeks that I'm planning for. All right, but I know for this pay period what's due. Oh, let's see. It starts on the 13th. Netflix is already pending, so that has to come out. I know that utilities we're paying $150, phone $70. Student loan, we're paying $36. YouTube subscription, $8. And then that's it. That's it until next payday. So that's it. That's due within that pay period. Oh, wait a second. Mortgage. I knew something was wrong there. According to my cheat sheet, that should be $425. So my cheat sheet is really good because these are all that are due. The only thing that's not due that I plan to be due in this pay period is the Netflix and Amazon because they're already paid. So I should have $16 extra in this bill account. It's not technically a half of the mortgage, but yep, that leaves us with $16. And let's see, what am I gonna do with that? I want to leave it in the bill account, so I want to leave it 2 bills. So I'm going to add, actually, I'm going to put $5 to investing because I want to put a little bit in there. My little bit of investments that I have in Cash App are actually growing pretty well, even though I'm only putting like pennies in. And I'm going to add that extra $11 to student loan. So we're actually going to pay $47 for student loan instead of $36. I think that's a good little way to put a little bit more in debt. towards debt, not in debt. 47, 8, 5, 5. All right, that zeroes out. Okay, what's left after we pay our bills? 887. All right, and the next important thing is our variable expenses. That's going to be 325. All right, and I consider variable expenses, just for me and my warped brain, even though they don't change and they should be fixed expenses. I keep these in a separate account. Having these separate accounts just makes budgeting so much easier. All right, for the 325, 275 goes to groceries and toiletries. And I have to remember, I had $25 in rollover, which means I still have that money in the bank account. I still have it now before I get paid again. 300, duh. All right, so groceries will have a budget of $300. Okay, that should zero out. All right, so that'll zero out. And what's next? All right, that brings me down to $562, and I want to pay my always fund. The always fund on average, this is not my don't sink funds. This is my always fund. All right, and I call it that because these are the only categories that will always get money every time I get paid. So I want to usually put $195 in there, but because I had a little bit more money and these are like my priorities, I want to make sure that these get the bulk. And I do want to finish some. I have goal amounts. This year I put goal amounts on each of the envelopes. So each of the savings categories, I thought about how much I want to save. So I want to finish as many as I can. All right, so what comes next is our cash envelopes. And the cash envelopes actually are going to get less. So we're doing a low spend month, so they're going to get less each time. So let's see. I need my January budget to see. We'll do half of each. Let's start there. So I don't know yet how much we're going to do in the cash envelopes. It should be, where are they? 270, half of that, it should be 135. All right, so we're gonna put 135 in the cash envelopes instead of our usual 200 every time. So, all right, so we're putting allowance always gets $20. Essentials is gonna get $40. Essentials is gonna stay the same as it usually would because they're essentials and those are not included in the little challenge. Shopping is gonna get 25. It usually gets 40, I believe. Dining is going to get a lot less. It's $30. What I used to put in dining every time was $75, I believe, but I am changing that going forward. It's going to be $60. So we're just doing 30 in there now, and the plan is not to spend any, but there's a cushion in case I do. Entertainment is going to get 10, and miscellaneous is going to get 10. That should be 35. All right, that is 135. Okay, that brings us to 427. All right, and the next thing that comes out is to our cheat sheet is our always funds. So the always fund would usually get 195, but because we have a little bit of extra money, I've already determined that I want to put some more in pet and health, those envelopes. So I'm going to put 224 in the always fund. Gonna bring me down to 203. I'd rather have more in the priority envelopes. All right, so in the always fund, 224. All right, let's give you a breakdown of where that's all gonna go. Pet is gonna get $20. Health is gonna get 30. Kind of half of what the monthly budget was. Clothes, that's for my daughter's school clothes. That's gonna get 35, and yes, that's several months away, but I like to plan ahead. Senior year, what's half of that? 36. Yeah, senior year is gonna get 36. Graduation will get 25. I will get 25 for my envelope. Home emergency is getting 25. Family fun is gonna get 20. And my 100 envelope, let's see how much I have left. I have $8 left. $8 is gonna go to the 100 envelope challenge. All right. That leaves me with 203. So the rest is gonna go to my other savings, my don't sink funds, and these are lower priorities. All right, and what have I decided? I decided that I want to finish junior year. So junior year has only $100 left to finish that, and I will be glad to be done with that. I've been saving for that for at least a year, if not 2 years, a long time. So $100 for junior year, a year and a half, something like that. Miscellaneous savings, we have $40 left to get to the goal for that. So $20 for miscellaneous savings. My daughter's bonus envelope, that's for if she gets 90s or above in each class. She gets $10 for each class. So I want to make sure I have enough before that report card comes out. Car registration, I want to put some more in there. Home maintenance, I think I said 25 for home maintenance. And at 25 for the month ahead gas envelope, so we can finish that. So I'm going to finish this and this. Let's see. There's 3. Let's put that $3. What? Oh, we're gonna put that $3 in pet emergency. All right, because pet emergency, I believe, has like $112. That'll bring it to $115, at least. Like it's not a round number, but it feels like it to me. All right, that brings it down to 200. That brings it down to $0. So we are at a zero-based budget. We know where every single dollar of this $1,817 will go. Again, I am doing overtime, and I got a little bit of a raise too. That was just literally our director, who is like the boss right under the CEO. He gave me a little bit of a bonus. So my paycheck should go a little bit more every pay period. If you ever seen my first cash stuffing or my first budgeting videos, I think I was making like $1,300 to $1,400. So this is a blessing to be making this. It's a blessing. Very happy about that. So I am saving literally, I'm saving the 427. So these are going to come out. And then I'm saving the 200 from vacation. I don't count car note as savings because, so we're going to be saving $627. That's the plan for where everything will go. All right, so the next thing I need to do is my cash withdrawal sheets. I'll show you guys that. These are all sheets I made for myself. Some people will ask, where did I get these sheets? I made these myself. And I love these sheets that I made for myself. I highly suggest you make your own sheets or your own way to track what's important to you to track for your budget. All right, so this is my cash withdrawal sheet so that I can plan how much I need to take out of the bank. This is going to be for January A. It's going to be 113 through 126. All right, so I know for our cash, envelopes, allowance, I'm just going to do this really quickly. so we have 562. This is just so that I have the right numbers or the right denominations to go into each of the envelopes. So I'll take this with me. Actually, this is what I'll take with me to the bank. All right, so that'll go with me to the bank. I'll put it in my little bank bag. I make sure to put this in my workbook bag right now. Otherwise, I will forget it at home and it'll throw everything off because I go to the bank right after work. I should add this 25 for grocery rollover to the beginning balance, just so I know where that extra 25 came from. All right, so I was going to show you guys my closeout sheet. So this is a closeout for the bi-weekly budget. So that means at the end of this 2 weeks, I would go in and figure out what I spent and compare it to what I budgeted here. I'm still working on these sheets. I did make these myself and I keep running into things that I need to update and change that I want to track. So I'm still working on these. I won't show you this,
but I will show you what I do. I did the same thing with the monthly budget. Let's see where that closeout is, which is right here. I just highlighted each of the categories that I want to track, and I have my categories right here that I track for each of my expenses. So I went through and highlighted each to figure out, well, you know, what my budget was for each of these, and then I'll compare this to what I actually spend at the month of January. But I like to do it every 2 weeks too, at least for now. I am working on simplifying the process, but for now, that's what I'm going to do. I do like to experiment with the different budgets, so I'm also going to experiment in the month of January with not doing the monthly closeout sheet until the end. That way I can add what I budgeted for the A paycheck and what I budgeted for the B paycheck, and I can compare it to that, because the budget for those bi-weekly paychecks is more accurate than the monthly projection. So I'd rather compare it to what I budgeted for each paycheck, if that makes sense. So let me know what your thoughts are on doing it backwards. So I would do the monthly budget at the end by adding up what I budgeted for A and B instead of just the monthly budget where I have no idea how much the paychecks are going to be. I feel like that kind of makes more sense. I don't know. I'm going to try it both ways, but I'm going to fill out this sheet off camera. Other than that, I am all set. I have my bi-weekly budget ready to go. I'm going to go ahead, like I said, and fill this out. And
tomorrow when I get paid, I will go ahead and bring my little sheet to the bank, my bank slip that has all these in there, get the cash out, and I'll come back and show you me stuffing the envelopes so you guys can get an update on how much I have in each. All right, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I want you to always remember it is about progression and not about perfection, clearly. Happy saving. Bye.